Welcome back to Stamping at the Warren. I'm Kim Tolton, and today I have another festive card for you. Another really quite quick card to make. It does require you to have a die cutting machine, so I'll be using my Big Shot, but it's actually more of a cutting and assembly job with a little bit of stamping and a little bit of die cutting. And it's using some of Stampin' Up's beautiful designer series papers. And these particular papers are mostly beautiful gold foiled, and it will coordinate with the gold foil I've then used with the die cutting and also the gold cording trim. So I've tried to tie everything together. And the colour of the background here is, and my mind's gone blank, mint macaron. There we go. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and we'll crack on. So to start with, make your card base. So you want to do that by trimming a piece of thicker whisper white cardstock to 21 centimeters by 14.8 centimeters, and then you score down the middle of that long side at 10.5 centimeters. Make sure the crease is on the inside of your card, and burnish that fold with your bone folder. Next, you're going to layer onto that a piece of mint macaron cardstock. And you will find that there's a right side and a wrong side, so do try to always cut out with the same cardstock the same way up. You'll see that this is a little bit uneven. If you turn it over, it's beautiful. So this is just going to be adhered onto your card front, just using a piece of fast fuse. And fast fuse, you want to keep the adhesive cassette almost parallel to the cardstock. Do your strip and then flick to the right, and your next strip you come down keeping it parallel again, get to the bottom and then flick to the left. And if you do that each time you use it, you will find you don't get into too much of a pickle with it. So just adhere your mint macaron cardstock down onto your card base. There you go. And then your next step is we're now going to add this white strip in the middle, which we need to die cut. So I've trimmed a piece of cardstock to 14.4 by 4 centimeters. So that's this piece here, and that's going to be going across here. But we need to die cut the Mary, and we need to do 2 die cuts. One is with the white cardstock, and the other is using a piece of gold foil cardstock, which has gone walkabout on me, unless I've already got it on the table here. It was there a moment ago, so I may have to find that. Yes, it's gone walk around. So, oh look, right in front of me. Now why didn't you scream at me? It's behind you. In this case, it's in front of you. So I'm using, no, that's the stamp set. So I'm using the Christmas Greetings Thinlits Dies. And in here is 3 dies. So you've got Mary, and Peace, and let's remember what the last one is, Jolly. There you go. We're going to be using the Mary today. Now I'll show you how to put your sandwich for your Big Shot together. And it's exactly the same for the gold foil as well. So you want to get your magnetic platform. If you haven't got a magnetic platform, then you need your multi-purpose platform on tab 2, and then you put one of the acrylic cutting plates down. Then you put your cardstock down. Then you put your die on top. Make sure that the blade, which is this raised edge, is face down on your cardstock, and because this is going to be in the middle, we want to get this roughly in the middle. Okay, and then your second acrylic plate goes down on top, and then that whole thing goes through your big shot. Because I can't get my big shot into the shot here, I'm just going to turn you off for a moment whilst I die cut this, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm back having done the die cutting. So you'll see here I've made the void where the sentiment was. I managed to snap this as I got it out, so this was in here like this. So I've taken that out. Now I've used a magnetic platform, and you'll know before you remove it from the cardstock, you'll know if you've got it all cut out properly. If you turn it upside down, you'll be able to see where the plate has come through. And all you do is just give it firm press, and then you will be left with just the die, and if you turn it over, the cardstock is there. What you will see are lots of these little holes here, and these are there to help you remove. So just start the process, and then you should be able to, don't pull too hard, but very gently just put some pressure on, and bingo, out comes your die cut. Now last time I removed the void there, this time I think I'm going to leave it in, and it will give a slightly different look. Okay, and therefore a couple of things to do first. So with a piece of tape and tear, I'm going to run a piece of the tape, the adhesive, along the bottom here, and the same along the top edge. If you think it's going to obscure the die, just tear a piece off and then put it back on a little bit further down. Just another little piece there. Okay, so the first thing to do is to put a piece of foiled designer series paper down, and this measures 3 centimeters by 14, and this is going to go behind here. Okay, so just remove the tape that's on the top edge, and you see what I mean when I say it is finger lift. There's she. It's always the way when you're on camera. There you go. Piece there, and then the long piece here. There you are. See? Simple. And then you just want to put that edge, taking care to just line everything up. There you go. Okay. Next, you've got a little, you just want to remove this piece of tape at the bottom edge, which it will be if it's that way, and put a piece of red striped ribbon, just so it peeks out, and you will be able to pick it up and move it if it's not showing. No, I haven't gone near enough to the edge. So just take it off and go again a little bit further down. Doesn't want to play ball, does it? That's me. It's the bright light on my camera, that's my excuse anyway. There you go. Right. And then just using your paper snips, just snip the ends of the ribbon off. And this can now be matte down onto your cardstock. So just a piece of fast fuse along that designer series paper, and I've just got adhesive onto my grid paper. Take that off, and I need to put that on the card base here, and obviously make sure that you've got your card opening the right way. So this just goes across the middle here. There you are. And the next bit is to adhere your die cut, and for that I'm using the fine point glue pen, and you'll see that there's a little pin on this side and there's a hole in the pin on that side. They are quite fragile and can be damaged quite easily, so just be careful and gentle with them. And then I just gently hold my die cut in my hand, and the glue comes out so finely with this. It doesn't, because the pin's in there, it doesn't all get clogged up. So you just want to run that round, just tiny amounts of glue. You really don't need very much at all. And with the tip you can just spread it around a little bit if you get a little bit too much glue on. There we go. And then that just goes in the void. Yeah, easier going from where that piece is, and then fitting it all in the void, and give it a good press. There you go. Now to put this back together, what I've found is hold the pin in your dominant hand, so the one with the pin bit in your dominant hand. In your other hand, hold the female piece, if you like, of the glue pen against your finger, and use your finger as the guide. So I've got my other hand, I've brought my fingers here, and then it's easier, and just very gently wiggle that pin in there and then do it up. You do need to do that quite quickly after using it, otherwise you can end up with the actual tip getting clogged, which is not what you want. So you've now got that in there. There's just a little bit of stamping to do here, and then we're just about finished apart from some embellishment. So the stamp set that I'm using is the Holly Jolly Greetings, and I'm using some of these smaller words here. So I'm using the Have A and Christmas, because you've got the Merry here, and I'm using Real Red. Now with a little stamp like this, I know I nearly always ink my stamps this way. You can do it that way, but you need a very gentle hand, otherwise you'll get ink all around the edges, and that isn't pretty. So that can be stamped here. And then the Christmas, again, gentle hand. If you're very gentle, you can do it that way. Sometimes it's better, but whichever way you do it, use a very gentle hand with that ink pad. And then on this edge here, we're going to go Christmas. There you go. Close your ink pad so it doesn't dry out. And then your last piece is your lovely gold cording trim here, and this naturally curls. It's just like curling ribbon in a way. And you want a fairly longish piece, because I want it to actually, I want that curl to be a real feature of what you're doing. And you're just going to tie a little bow. I use the bunny ears method, so I do one loop, another loop the same size with the other piece, wrap it round and through and pull. But once you've pulled, you can then start shortening your loops and tails. Well, you lengthen the tails but shorten the ribbon. There you go, and you can see what I mean by it goes its own way. And then I just need some glue dots, and the glue dots is the easiest way of adhering this onto your card front. Hold your glue dots so that the tape is going away from you. I don't know if you can see that. If you bring it backwards, you can then crease it, and you've just got one glue dot exposed, and that avoids you ending up with a stream of glue dots going all the way up your hand and your arm. And I've done that several times in the past. So, and just sort of squidge the glue dot up so that it's not going to get stuck on everything else, not going to get stuck on the envelope. And then just pop that down. And you'll see that the loops have gone a completely different way to the original card, but that still is beautiful. So, and that is it for today. Really quick and simple. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. All my social media accounts are listed below today's video, so if you have any questions, you can either leave a comment in my comments box below, or just send me an email or a text message, or whichever way you prefer to send a message to me. If I can give you any guidance on either joining my team as a demonstrator, or perhaps you want some advice on what you need to make up a kit, basic kit cut for paper craft, anything like that, just drop me a line. Even if you've got some ideas for video tutorials, and I'll see if I can accommodate them and incorporate them into my videos. So that's it for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Ta-ta for now.